for this video, we're going to tie a black foam beetle. This is a very good fly for late summer fly fishing when the terrestrials are out, and also for high alpine mountain lakes. And it's super easy to tie. So here we go, black foam beetle. Got my black thread here. I'm going to get that attached to the hook. It's going to start at the front, wrap it to the back, just to kind of get a nice base started. We're actually going to cover all of that black, but I like to have a good little base. Next thing I'm going to tie in is some black foam, closed cell foam. Pretty thick. I've got it cut probably a little more than 1/4 of an inch wide. So I'm going to tie that in back here in the back, just like that. Now notice I actually left a lot up here in the front. There's a reason for that. We're going to tie that, and I'm just going to wrap that forward kind of nice and evenly. Kind of gives me a nice strong big fat base to work with when I go to cover that. Okay, so that's my black foam. Next thing I'm going to tie in is a little bit of orangish red foam. This is actually open-celled foam, so it doesn't float real good, but it works great for this purpose. I like using this kind of foam when I'm using it as a body to wrap. So you'll kind of see here in a second what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to take that, tie that in. Now I'm going to take this orangish foam, and I'm just going to wrap it forward. Kind of gives the hook a nice colored body. And I'll tie that off just like that. Give it a couple of good wraps here. Make sure she's fastened down, then I don't need this, so I'm going to snip it. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this foam and I'm going to pull it forward. Pull it forward right over the hook, just like that. And once I get it to the front, a couple of soft wraps, and I'll pull tight. Okay, then I'm going to actually press this foam through the eye of the hook. Notice I'm pressing pretty hard right there. What it does, it makes a little indentation right where I know that I need to run my needle nose scissors. Make that little hole. That makes that go through the eye of the hook much easier. Then I can take this and finish it off by wrapping it on the bottom side. Then I gotta get this snipped. Do that without catching my thread here. Okay, so there's our body. Okay, the next thing I like to put on here a little bit is I like to give it just a little bit of flash. So notice there's a little bit of flash. I'm just going to tie this flash on here. Tie it on right on the back as if I was tying on wings. And I'll snip it about the length of the body. Notice they kind of stick up a little bit. We'll end up pulling those a little bit to the side. Kind of like that. Just give them a couple of good wraps, and they should hold in place. There we go. Okay. The last little step, I like to add some rubber legs to this thing. So we'll take some black rubber legs. Sometimes I'll use a different color with the beetles. I prefer to use black. A couple of soft wraps. Split it. Pull the legs to the side. All right. Last thing, just because sometimes this black fly is awfully hard to see in the water, I take a little bit of orange and I make a little orange topper. Tie a little orange topper just to the top of it to kind of help give it some visibility when I'm actually tying the fly, when I'm actually fishing the fly. Sometimes a little bit of visibility is nice. Even though this is a big fly, it is not that easy to see. Black flies like this sometimes can disappear. Okay, now we whip finish. Grab my whip finisher, run that whip finish right through where I tied on that topper. And there you have it, the old black foam beetle. I'll snip this thread and then we can take a look at this fly. Get you a profile from underneath. You see that sparkle? I just like a little bit of sparkle on it, but pretty easy to tie and very effective. So there you go.